Okay, let's get into the next question. Very concerned in Three Rivers, Michigan. And I have family in Three Rivers, Michigan, actually. So hello, I hope this is not my family if they have an issue.
Okay.
Anyway, from Very Concerned says, we sold our property and now we want out. My husband's health was failing and was erratic throughout the entire sale. Then a day before closing, he had a stroke. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
The doctor said that this explained his behavior for the past 3 to 4 months. He is now at home, but is going to take a long time to heal. Now the buyers are pushing us to close on the home and have agreed to delay the closing, but I can't go anywhere if my husband is now very sick. My realtor keeps blowing up our phone and my husband is still in and out of the hospital. Can we cancel the contract? From Very Concerned in Three Rivers.
Well, unfortunately, first of all, I want to just say, if they're watching, health issues are never fun, and I'm really sorry to learn of her circumstances. If they're telling me that there's a closing that's about to occur, that means that the contingencies and any exceptions that can be used to back out of the contract have passed.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are, in general, they're required to close on this contract. And if they don't, there's a remedy in court, and you've heard me talk about it before, it's called specific performance. The issue here, it's more about, it's about being human, right? So you may have buyers who, if they were told the true circumstances of the situation,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they would understand, and maybe they would want some small compensation or just their earnest money back, and they move on. The problem, I just thought of this, the problem is, and I don't want to ever denigrate a good realtor or real estate agent, because I work with so many good ones.
Oh, yes, I know what you're going to say.
Right. Who are you dealing with? Okay.
Right.
So if you have is the agent communicating this information at all to the buyers?
Right.
Anybody, because most people go through their agents when they're listing a property. So, they're selling a property or buying a property. It's not for sale by owner. So that communication, you're using the buffer, which is the real estate agent. You would hope in such an extenuating circumstance that their agent would say to the other agent, hey, we have a major problem here. What do you think? This is about being human and working out the transaction. And if the people still want the home, it doesn't look right. I wouldn't feel good if I had to go to court. I would do it because the contract is a contract, but there should be some, there's a saying, there just should be some kindness in that transaction.
Sure.
But that's a whole different story. In the law, your legal rights and being kind are two different things, right?
No, exactly.
So that's an unusual question. It's a sad question to have to answer, and it's a hard one to give an answer to. But just in general, without the medical issue, the underlying medical issue, you don't close on a deal, and the other party wants to close on a purchase transaction, and there are no contingencies. Not only will you, let's say it's a seller, you will have to perform. You may have to go to court, but if you don't perform, in certain circumstances, the real estate agents are still entitled to their real estate commission.
That's what I was going to ask, was if in the event that they didn't end up closing this, could both agents, the buyers and the seller's agents, could they pursue that commission that they would have gotten otherwise?
So a seller's agent can sue a seller for the commission.
Okay.
Okay. And the buyer can sue the seller for the commission as well. The buyer's agent.
The buyer's agent, so
That's
both
right.
agents could?
That's correct, right.
Okay.
So if the seller backs out. Now, if the buyer has a buyer's agent, there's a commission structure already built in there. If they don't close, then the buyer's agent can sue the buyer. But the buyer's agent cannot sue the seller for the commission. They have to sue.
So if the fault was on the buyer for not closing, then the buyer's agent cannot sue the seller. They would have to pursue the buyer.
Sue the buyer.
But in this case, because it's the seller, both agents could go after the seller.
Right.
Okay.
That's just a sad situation. I will tell you that actually in any given year, I probably do 3 or 4 where it's a medical issue that becomes problematic for somebody.
Yeah. That is sad.
Yeah.
Aw.
There's just before you go to the next question, there is a German Yiddish word called Rachmanis. I'm just giving you Rachmanis means to be a human, to be kind, to be given, and just got to do the right thing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because they got into something and then something happens, but the contract is there to protect everybody, and so there's other parties involved as well. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's like everybody loses in this situation.
Oh, yeah.